C2, the platform they're building, is unique. It may be, and probably if you look at production units and different scenarios, you will have truly different robotic arms and robotic products that will be working, and they cannot work independently for a very long time. So the more digitization of that technology happens, they probably will need to open up and work with. Now, the integration could be hard, but at the same time, I think the use case of saying that Tesla is not open, that doesn't mean that Toyota will be open. That's a very different use case comparably. But in a warehouse, I think the robots may need to work very well together. So I think it's an early market player because there aren't too many such scenarios as of now. So I feel R2C2 probably has strongest potential. All the other ones on the top, I think they have proven their market potential through different scenarios. They're already serving good clients as well. So I think they are way more well established compared to R2C2. But probably there is a market potential there.
Okay, the top two companies, I think they are going to be probably having the biggest likelihood, probability of being successful commercially, financially. But I would say comparing to other companies, these are probably more later stage of growth capital targets instead of a VC early stage candidate. And my personal pick is actually number 3 on the list, so Agilis Robotics. I think this company has a good balance between expandability, scalability, commercial success, and also technology. So there's a wide space in this in their segment, and also they have some state-of-art technology. So that's my personal pick.
And I think we love the kind of products or company with more versatile products, higher flexibility and scalability. And that's why I think so far the first 2 teams fall into this kind of category. And I think for the rest of the teams, they also have this kind of characteristics. We would like to see more this kind of social products with more social impact. For example, the wheelchair, the solar panel cleaner. I think that this kind of products with the business model, they would be more doing more impact to the society. And for the kind of products for the first teams, 2 teams, they can be extend to a great variety of industry. To me, I am also looking after the sport tech cluster. I think quite a number of products they could be used on this kind of areas. For example, the sport athletes, the apparels, or even the sort of training needs. For example, the goggles, the VR technologies, the optical ones, they can be used in the VR goggles. That could be a booster of the current hype of metaverse, Web3 economy, something like that.
This is also my first time to join this startup, and the ranking looks fine to me, especially for the first 3 one. The third one has a sizable sales order. The second one has a pretty good market. They are contacting with Vivo and also Huawei. These also big names in China. And the third one is backed by Hong Kong U, which I think that technology is also great. And also they do have a great social consideration, just like CO4 Libret, that one. So I hope by this platform we could help this company to go further, that so more customers or more organization could understand actually there are some great products out there. And yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you, Alibaba. For me, it's exactly what I pick and rank from this list. From my point of view, I more consider the feasibility. All of them have good tech and their own technology, but I'm more concerned the market application. That's why I pick the top 3 and for R2C2 because they have well market proof their technology can be landed in certain markets. Is more I concern, and also because this time the competition is more focused on the GBA and Hong Kong. I believe the first 2 is higher chance to have a better development in GBA.
Thank you for the opportunity as well. Working in banking, I often get exposure to fintech and regtech, so it's been great to get exposure to other areas. Really interesting for me. The ones that I liked the most were actually, I think it was the LibPet with the wheelchair that can climb stairs. I just thought that was really cool. The fact that people that maybe have difficulty getting around have those barriers removed, and particularly around the cost as well. So the fact that it's so much cheaper than other solutions. And I loved the fact that the presenter kind of linked this to the story of his grandpa, how he wanted to do better for the world because of his grandpa. I thought that was really, really powerful, personally. I also really like the wearable battery as well. I think that's quite interesting. Lots of potential for that technology in the future, which we've probably not started to untap just yet. I'd also agree on the comments around the 2 companies in China, which seem to be already established and clearly doing very well and kind of looking for the next stage, whereas I was kind of looking more at those companies that are just starting up and maybe looking for that big break. So thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. So yeah, I think for the ranking wise, I think for the top 3, I think not only me, I think in general, I think all probably would agree. So I'm not going to repeat other people's comment. I think maybe just a couple of, I think the top 2, as everybody says, is I think they have a technology advantage, and then but they are already on their way. So I think that's with the marking scheme, they should be on the top. Now a couple of experience sharing. I think Agilus, I think is a very a good technology, but it's also a highly competitive market. It also takes a long time to develop. I think they are in the earlier stage now. Now obviously they are not direct competitor with the Da Vinci, because they are looking at the open orifice. So it's a scope 1, but it's still doing the scope. But again, this takes quite a long time, and then there are other competitors. So it's a long way, but it seems their first fundraising seems to be quite successful. So I think that would be promising for them to continue to look at it. R2C2, I think my comment is as from because we sort of a user in this area. I think the integration SI platform to others with different brands of robots are actually quite on demand, which also means that there are quite a lot of companies are also doing that in different degrees. Now, of course, R2C2 has an advantage. I think he is the only Hong Kong company able to do Boston Dynamics, which I'm not sure how. So that's certainly an advantage. But I think on the other hand, this is again if you look at the growth company-wise, I think they, in a sense, they are system integration and then development of specific software. So which means that their core technology would be integrating other people's technology. So that particular area would be kind of a competitive market. And then like San said, I think some robot company would not open your system to others. So that's another consideration. But I tend to agree with him that in the long run, it's probably going to be an open platform for most people to play with. The only other comment I'll make is the wheelchair. I think has for the past number of years, I think different areas has developed. the challenge is always going to be bulkiness. That is going to be really heavy, and then because it's a give and take. If you need to climb the stairs stably, you need to have a heavy base to walk on. But it seems he is going to solve some with, for example, using lesser number of motors and the other techniques. So yeah, so I think will be interesting. I'll be interesting to see.
First of all, just thanks everyone for letting me be a part of this. Very, very interesting. You know, robotics is not core to our investment thesis, but I have invested in some projects that are quite interesting. I definitely think the one that stood out to me the most was R2C2, just as an ecosystem. I just see so many more robots, you know, whether it's in hotels, whether it's in theaters, whether it's in Walmarts, even the US, you know, continually be used. So I do think there's a play there long term to have a systematized way to actually collect the data and be able to, you know, service and really operate and oversee all these different types of robot products around the world. I definitely think I agree with everyone here. Basically, the top two are obviously clear winners. I've seen products like CO9 that, you know, so to me, it's not really super innovative, but I definitely see where there's a demand and, you know, why it's doing well. I agree with, I forgot who said about Agilis. I've seen a lot in the biotech and medical tech space, similar types of products. And the problem is FDA approval, early stage. There are a lot of other competitors in the space. I recently, you know, invested in one that was similar, where it's like no puncture needles. But I do think that is a growing space, and we'll see more and more of these. But the question is, you know, why them? You know, why are they going to win? I actually personally was interested in the Sunny app robotics. I just didn't know exactly what they're doing to solve, because I'm just more interested in climate tech and just, you know, solving global warming and these type of challenges that we're all facing. So that one was interesting just from a theme, but I still couldn't fully understand what exactly is their product. And I agree with everyone. The wheelchair company, if that works, it's great. It's great for everyone. It's great for elders, elder citizens, senior citizens, and those that have been disabled. I think that's really, really awesome, because that it really is a problem. Like, even whether it's in Hong Kong or anywhere in the world, you know, it is very, very archaic. The current wheelchairs of just having to lug someone up and push them up, it just doesn't make any sense. So that was really, really cool and very, very inspiring. Just his own story. In general, this is incredible. I'd love to learn more, and you know, love to continually be a part of this Alibaba JUMPSTARTER ecosystem. Thank you, everyone.
I completely agree with a lot of the comments that were mentioned. You know, top guys seem pretty solid. I guess it's been noted that, you know, top two Chinese companies seem to have a lot of market potential. I agree to you know, a large extent. I think actually, I think personally I like CO9 better than CO8, just because I think CO8 might be slightly more early stage in terms of traction, but I guess we're not penalizing on that, because, you know, as I mentioned before, this is equal kind of playing ground. Just I've actually seen before 806 as well. I think some of these companies are, you know, very promising in the sense that the technology they bring are kind of transformational. But it's always a commercialization issue with medtech, right? It's always about going to market. Whether if the product is great or not, it can only be decided once it actually lands in the hospital or once surgeons start actually using it. So I think there's a very big hurdle even above, you know, even beyond the FDA approval, right? Even if they get FDA approval, there's going to be some difficulty going to market there. R2C2, I think, you know, concept is very intriguing. Obviously, the direction is right? Because, you know, not everyone can make, you know, every single type of robot there is, and platforms need to communicate. But I think Parker mentioned a very interesting point on whether it has to be, and Jason as well, whether it has to be this company going to this sector. But we are quite positively optimistic about, you know, all the JUMPSTARTER contestants, because we think they're high quality. We think they're high quality. And I guess in the end, so I guess those are my comments on the companies. So so the the way how we'll look at it is maybe we'll put forth 2 guys which we think are very, which we completely agree on. And then for the third, we'll have a very quick, I guess, additional voting session. So if you guys think that CO9 and CO8 are the top 2 contestants, then we can put them forth immediately, and then we'll vote on, say, the third between, the next few guys which we've touched upon. So if that's okay.
I'm good.
Okay, we are in agreement, and I guess that completes our session. Thank you so much, everyone.